And again, John and I were familiar with Buffini and
Yeah.
Company, so those people here that you don't know about Buffini and Company, you should search into
Can you
that.
tell us 30 seconds what that is?
Well, Brian Buffini's owner of the company. It's the largest coaching company in the United States, but they offer different programs besides coaching. They also offer what we do, and that's every month we get what's called the item of value. They send out a box, and there's 100 items of value, and every month it's something different. It's a very nice glossy piece, very professionally done. You can customize it with your information on the piece. That goes out to with categories. They teach you how to categorize your database, your A's and B's and C's. And the Training Point Retreat is where you would get more information from Brian Buffini. And then he also sends you 50 note cards. So we learn to send notes out. As we talk to someone, we send a little personal note, handwritten personal note to them. And then he also sends out a CD, so we listen all good things about the market. And business directory, you put on your website. You do that, John, the business directory. That's fun too, because of the Chamber of Commerce, you do businesses and you can add it to your business directory for free. So anyway, Buffini and Company, I think is pretty good stuff.
We don't work for Buffini, by the way, but when we started the office, we were just kind of scrambling. We didn't know what to do. So the first things that we did was, mainly Buffini, we contacted all past clients, which the closest past client was 4 years old, because we had sold that office like 4 years prior. So we went back 4 to 6 or 7 years and started sending stuff out, and we got business.
Yeah.
Oh, you just caught me at the right time. My mother's thinking of selling, or my brother's thinking of buying, and amazing, 4 years old. And between that and just taking CDs to help you sell CD out to expireds and things like that, that's really how we got the thing.
And we're not talking about much money.
No, it's about $130 a month for that box, but there's just so much of you have access to the website and the resources there, National Real Estate Report, that you can download and print out. And then the Blitz, they offer the Blitz, but 3 times a year. They're just finishing up this end of the year Blitz. That, every week they send you checklists of what you do, and Maria, it's good, yes?
No, it's fabulous.
It's fabulous, so I can't say enough.
What's the name of it?
Buffini and Company, Buffini and Company, Brian Buffini. You can Google search him. It's just great stuff. He's out of Carlsbad, California.
Okay, great.
Sorry.
Patrick, you doing CIs? Are you mailing up to a database?
We're mailing primarily to just listed,
Okay.
pending, just sold. We've kind of gotten away, kind of been a little bit remiss in sending out to past clients, and I mean, it's part of what we should be doing.
It's easy to get away.
That's,
I did do the training for the 100 Days to Greatness, and so I should have a training program. But I know all this stuff, but I practice some chicken. It's a little more difficult for us. We still a lot of our sellers, they actually do leave. A lot of military, so then they're gone, so it's really hard to send them the follow-up stuff. But we do get unbelievable amount of word of mouth. Such and such told me they used you. Don't you remember them 3 years ago? Yeah, they sold, they went to, but they said you were great and they actually called. So I haven't figured this out, and if anybody has an idea, it would be great. How to capture their friends. Maybe before they leave, hey, who's your friend?
Well, one thing that we would do is, and we're getting ready to do it now, is write a personal note to every one of our CIs. And we're going to put a couple of business cards in there and just say, hey, anybody's thinking about buying or selling real estate? Appreciate you passing.
And what I do is we do send out, when every listing that comes in automatically for any one of our agents or anything, I have a letter. It's from me, as president. It's amazing. If you guys own your company, put president on there. On your business card. It's just amazing how you're the president. Yeah. I'm also the janitor, but that don't mean anything. But you'd be so surprised on what that means, rather than just saying you're the broker, the RA, which they have no idea what any of that means. But you just put president, and it's like, oh. So anyway, I sent out a letter that it's, I sign it. Blue pen is where they want me to sign it. Thank you for listing with us. If you're with any different, thank you for listing with Debbie Wong or whoever the agent was. Or even if it was me, it's a little different letter. Thank you for listing. And when it sells, I send a thank you for selling. If you're using our services and a survey that they check off, they send it back, and that's how we get our testimonials.
Does any of you guys send out a copy of the closing statement in January for homes you just closed? Do it. It's easy, and man, they'll call you and thank you.
Yeah.
Okay? And what Cheryl does is when we close, she automatically just puts them into a database. Put a copy of the closing statement. And we resend it and say, you may have lost this, and it's tax season. Tax season time's coming up, and boy, people really appreciate that. Maureen, you gonna say something?
You just asked if they had a system for capturing people's friends who sold the
Yeah.
home. I haven't done it recently, only because, as most of you know, I've been billed for over a year, and there's a lot of things I haven't done lately. But what we used to do that really, really worked was the seller, when he sold the home, I would have him write a letter of recommendation for us, and then I'd have him give me the names, addresses, and phone numbers, and we would send a change of address form for him to everybody that we knew that wanted to know where he was going to go. And we sent him a change of address form, and the letter would be basically said, I just sold my home through Open Sell, and Maureen has promised to send us out a change of address form for you. So she did great, we did a good job, and then we captured all those names, addresses, and phone numbers for direct mailing to them afterwards.
Great
And
idea.
that was how we got their friends' names and
Great.
addresses.
Buffini's?
Yeah, Brian Buffini, that's, Kim had that.
All right, telephone number, 800-945-3485.
And then, oh, sorry, go.
800-945-3485.
I was on a conference call real quick about a couple weeks ago, I don't know if you were, Don and Maria, but he just invented this peak performers. You heard about it? Yeah, peak performers, yes, and it's a new training session, supposed to be out of this world, so you want to check into peak performers as well.
Karen, you got anything you want to share about the CIs?
I have not been very good with doing that. One of the things we did last year was we did a customer appreciation picnic, and we sent it out did an ad in the paper for people that were interested in learning more about us. One of our agents has a great big grill, and so everybody cooked their own food. Or no, but the agents, we cooked all the food and had salads and all that stuff there. And it was great. We had a couple of vendors that came along, and we had a home inspector, a title company, an attorney, and they kind of mingled through, and some of them had a table there. And that was great. We had a lot of positive feedback from that. But yeah, we wanted to get back into doing that.
Yes, James.
Can I ask two questions?
You're the man.
Your survey, I'm kind of interested. Do you send, is it postage paid, return, is it a card, or how do they get that survey back?
Yes. What our board does is every year they call it the Aloha Aina Award. And it's the customer or the client rating their agent and how they did. So we actually just send that because then it looks like it's coming from the board. And we say, hey, if you would like to, you can fax it into them directly, or you can send it back to us. And we put the postage paid envelope in there so we know they send it back to us. If we don't like what it says, it never makes it to the board. No. But we don't have that problem. So, and then we would just fax them all into the board. So it's a form from the board, then we attach the thank you letter, and so it automatically comes back. And then every year, we're always nominated. So all of our agents, pretty much that had a sale, we send it into the board, and wow, they have, all their agents are nominated this year. So as long as you have one of the surveys that gets sent to the board, it's a nomination. So that's what we use. I have a copy of it, I think.
Actually on the computer, but we won't be able to see it up there. We'll look at it later. Patrick,
Yes.
I'm aware you do all kinds of things to brand. You're probably one of the most branded, disciplined franchisees we have. You talk about things like car wraps, your office signage, etc. And I think we have some pictures.
Well, I don't think we do anything exceptionally unique. We wrap the vehicle. We have, all my staff, they have magnets that, again, it's branding, and we modified our sign a little bit, our sign on our office, but business card, we changed it up a little bit. Valerie should get one. So I think, when I was with Prudential, I would have never thought about wrapping a vehicle because, but we did it, and again, we added a little color to it. I went with happy colors, like In-N-Out, McDonald's, red, white, and yellow, so I introduced a few other colors to it. So, that's it, but the magnet, so, we've got 6 agents, plus a truck, and we've got a vintage truck that's out and about occasionally. But, so we've got a lot of exposure every single day, in addition to the yard design, so. That's, anything else, Val? Was I leave anything out?
That's fair.
Oh, business cards, yeah, I mentioned it.
Cards, so hold them up.
Oh, hold it up.
What's that?
The card kind of looks like our sign, we just changed
Oh,
the.
that's it. Very cool.
The people in the community see this all the time because all of our staff just has Patrick's magnet. So it gives him this continual presence. If we have 3 staff members out on a day in Chino Hills, they're driving their vehicle with that magnet. So people are seeing it everywhere. And his card is a version of the magnet. So if you're a seller and you come home and you see that 5 people showed your property, his card stands out. And a lot of times people will call us. It's just, they've really started to relate him as the Chino Hills agent and broker to work with. There's a lot of personal identifying with him, hugely.
When a traditional listing expires, we've got to be the best, or the most viable option. We should have been the first on it, and that's usually what we say. But it's not selling at all. There's a huge benefit to using Healthy Stuff. So that's easy, that's built in.
Yeah, and I kind of like to be the second lister in this type of market, because then they decide you get. Yeah.
Any of you guys, someone mentioned earlier, but anyone having much success with expires and for sale by owners? Yes,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Well, now we're starting to get into like the CI, we're starting to follow up prospect, and so it's even though, but now it's a little bit challenging too, because they do, most listings, if we have a listing that's ready to expire, we will remove all of the owner contact information. But somehow, they find it. I don't know where they find, other agents, traditional agents, but, so we're going to start becoming a little more proactive in prospecting. In my thought process too, when a listing comes out, new listings, we have about 340 some listings in our marketplace, but we're going to start tracking new listings when they come out and start looking and obtain the contact information. So when those do expire, just make it a little easier to follow up with. But main thing is, phone call. When I started out in the business years ago, I used to do a lot of phone canvassing, a lot of door knocking. And when you say when the market gets slow, we're just like, with a lot of people here, you go back to the basics.
Right.
And you go back to, getting out there. You go back to trying to promote the business, the name, the branding. So, but just follow up. My office, what I like, what Valerie's kind of implemented in there is, all we can offer is service, right? We've got incredible fees, so why wouldn't, again, you want to list with Healthy Stuff, but consumers, they don't want to make any compromises, big concessions on service. So I don't think there's anyone in town that has more of a follow-up system than we have in place. And that's, constant communication. Right now, with when you have key safes on a property, y'all know that we're emailed, and we're emailed with the agent name and number that show that property. So, there's a system that's triggered, and that our seller is now communicating, say, here, this listing just showed it. Well, that was quick. One of our properties, the agent just accessed it. We called the seller, say, hey, this agent's just showing your property. He goes, well, they're here right now. So, there's so much we can do. So communication has always been paramount with our office. And so we never want to have a seller, if it doesn't sell because it's a price and they're not, for some reason, willing to or they're unable to reduce the price, then at least they can't say, listen, you took the listing, we haven't seen you for 3 months. So communication has been